What if?
Excellent. Willy.
Yeah. What if Mike Myers and what if Wayne and Garth showed up in this series?
Specifically Wayne and Garth, not like...
Yeah. Or in character.
I mean, they would probably look at Han and say Schwing.
Schwing. Yeah.
Garth
probably.
would probably try to talk to Giselle and just like... No, Garth would probably take Giselle from Han. He's got that weird charm that would work in the air of the movie.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, I guess so, huh?
He'd be the one guy that Vin lets beat, or Wayne would be the one guy that lets him beat him. But it'd be like a guitar contest.
I want to see them do their Pepsi ad for Corona.
Whoa, family.
Whoa, family! How did this get here? I don't know, but when I drink a nice cold beverage, it happens to be Corona. And if you don't put your thumb in it, you're doing it wrong.
Family says what?
Huh? What? Welcome to another episode of the 60-Second Car. This is minute
33.
My name is Dan, joined by my friend and co-host, as always, Mr. Daniel. And
what is happening? What is this NPR era that you're entering?
It's diesel time.
60-Second Car.
And we're back. Welcome back to the 60-Second Car, the podcast that is kind of not is feeling weird today. The air went from like very, very humid to extremely dry like overnight. So my lungs are not having a good time. But we're here, and also, I mean, so there's a couple reasons why that was a weird. The NPR era is starting. I don't know if I scare people by just jumping into it like that as loud as I do. I feel like I level it, and I have some limiters in that we put into post. But I if people are listening to the podcast maybe as they fall asleep, and then the next podcast rolls over, I don't want to wake them up. So.
Oh God, I really hope there are people that listen to us in their dreams, and that we're like infecting their subconscious with our just dumb shit.
Well, so there is.
Hey, go get that Viking ship. Come on, take the Viking ship. Come on now. All right, let's drive it into the sun now. This is gonna be Fast 11. We drive a Viking ship into the sun. I'm trying to give someone a really weird dream.
Like a long ship, and we're about to go pillage the village that is.
Pillage the village of the sun. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Pillage the village of the sun. Interesting. I would do that. What kind of metal band is that?
Oh, Pillage the Village of the Sun. That's probably like a sci-fi power metal. I'd say it's a sci-fi power metal band, like Arion or maybe a Dragon Force kind of
Dragon Force. Yeah. I feel like Dragon Force could. Maybe I'll have to pitch that to Herman. You're like, yo, can you write a song named this?
Herman Lee, come on the show. Let's talk about Fast.
And
pillaging the villaging of the sun.
I would do it. Yeah. I wonder if he's into it. He's got to be into some. He's into some like really like nerdy stuff. So maybe. But yeah, welcome. Diesel time. It's diesel time.
Diesel time.
Happy episode
33.
We're still in the party. We're still dealing with these weirdos and the strange guitar riffs, kind of. But I wanted to bring up something as we got into this episode. Do you know what Grand Theft Auto is, right? You're
yes.
you're aware. Grand Theft Auto 5.
The G to the T and the A.
The G to the T and the A. T and A is a different thing. We're not talking about that. But yes, a G to the T to the A. Do you know that they have a pretty hardcore role-playing scene?
Nope, sure don't.
Nope. Okay. Well, it's a very popular thing on Twitch.
Do you mean crime? No, officer, I was role-playing. All this cocaine, it's for a game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean crime. I totally mean crime. No, so on Twitch and you know, highlights to YouTube. So all my Twitch heads will know anything about this. There's a pretty big and very popular role-playing scene that takes place in a lot of different games, but GTA being the big one. and they've modded the game to where you can kind of be open and do lots of things. Anyway, there are people who play different jobs, like taxi drivers and burger shop employees, and there's also a whole group of sheriffs and cops that play in the game. So the reason that there's sheriffs and cops is because there is also, it's GTA, there's an entire, role-playing crime syndicate that happens within these servers and games. I think it's the coolest thing in the world when I watched, as more Twitch heads will know, Summit 1G and his friends and his group, his posse, his family, as one might say, pulled quite literally the same maneuver they do in Fast 5, where they have two identical cars and one pulls into this weird dark alley, and the one that's being chased, and then the different one pulls out and it becomes a decoy, and they do it in the perfect sequence, and it's like none of this is scripted. They pull out in the perfect sequence and they start chasing the wrong car, and then they just get all the way away, and then the actual car with all the money and stuff get out, and they drive to safety into the sunset, basically. So when they pull over the decoy car that's got no money and not even the right people driving it, they're like, what the heck, what happened? And they pulled that off like in real time, and I was like, I didn't know that we can actually pull off real fast heist things in a video game where there's real people playing and trying to find you.
So what I'm thinking is are you pitching a fast RPG?
I would definitely put together a pitch to any company that wants to do it. Whoever's out there wants to dev this, I'd absolutely sign on board to help you write it. Absolutely. 100%.
Put me in it.
Yeah, put us in it. We'll just be two guys on the side of the road being like, hey, I'm walking here.
And I am walking here. See, that's my audition.
There you go. All right, done.
Look at me go.
Absolutely done. But yeah, it was really cool. I watched it. If anybody wants to go check out the highlights, there's like highlights on Summit's channel and stuff like that. They did some really cool stuff. Anyway, they do that a lot. But I will say that if there was a fast RPG, how much of it would be actually in cars racing?
How much of it would be cars?
How much would you be in a car driving, and how much would it be like you running from like I don't know, I guess fighting? Because I feel like there would be a lot of Vin Diesel fighting scenes in your RPG, right?
I would love if it was like super like to the minute realistic. So they're on like hidden planes, like flying to the next country for like 9 hours or something. They're sitting on the plane, just like maybe like going over the plan, but they're usually flying solo, so they're sitting in a plane.
What movie is it where it opens with Roman in his private jet with his face on it, flying the girls to Vegas, I think, or something like that. and then he has to turn the plane around because his family needs him. Is that Fast 5? I feel like it's 5 or 6.
I don't remember. Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
But he has to turn the plane around. It's right at the beginning of the movie. It's the opening. It's his character introduction for the film. He has to flip around. So they talk about this on no other podcast exists, but on a make-believe podcast called All Fantasy Everything. There is an episode where they do fantasy draft the Fast series, and the moments in the Fast series. And there is a moment where they do draft this moment because it must be 6 because I think it's after the Fast 5 heist where they all have money now. And I think it's also the same movie where Ludacris also hacks the ATM to have it shoot out all the money in Colombia or whatever it is. I think it's the same. Like there's one scene after another. But they were counting like how much money he would have had at that point. And essentially it was cutting it pretty close to where he had just barely enough to be able to like buy the plane and also like be doing still fancy like high-end stuff with it. So
how much is the plane?
I mean, it's a lot. It's like $10-12 million, right? I think it's a lot of money.
All right.
It's a lot. but the whole theory behind it was that he was just a gambler and the casino sent the plane and he was like running it like it was his, which I find hilarious.
That sounds right too, yeah.
It sounds like what Rome would do. And then just pretend it's his, and then it's because at the end of that scene, he gives all the ladies his buffet coupons and says, "This is your payment."
Their payment for what? Were they?
I don't think we should ask.
Hired
we
friends?
should ask this question.
Okay,
We shouldn't dive into this.
All right. Should we talk about how the Buster brought me back?
Bush brought me back, and this is I think this is the image right after he says it, and he's like reeling back from it, and yeah, and then we cut right over to Vince's just astonished face, like is that embarrassment that we see on his face? Like, oh yeah, maybe I should have been part of that.
I mean, it seems like this is the first person realizing that they kind of bailed on him.
Right. You know, and
so it might be a little shame. It might be mad because he hates Buster so much, but
which he does, which we've established that he does. I mean, we do have just to go back to the last minute, and because I had these on, and I can see them. We do have Letty looking extremely surprised to see Dom in the last minute. So I think and I think we might have talked about this last episode, but they all realize they did something wrong.
I would think so. I would hope so.
So, like, what is the expectation here? It feels like maybe they were gonna. I don't know what the expectation is here. It's strange.
For a group so focused on family, it's making me wonder now if Dom's the only one who's really about the family, because like Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. They forgot him and left him behind.
Did we just reference Lilo and Stitch?
Yes, we did.
All right, I can get down with it. Those are my people. I appreciate it.
Stitch for Fast 11.
I mean, he's a good pilot. He could be flying the spaceship that maybe he was flying the spaceship that picked up Roman and Tej in space.
Crossover event we need.
Or did they go to the? Somebody met them, right? Was it the Russian cosmonauts? Or
I think they wound up like
else?
at a space station. I think.
And then it's the ISS with what's his name from Bad Boys 2, but I'm thinking of the character from Armageddon, the Russian astronaut who's in the ISS when the Armageddon crew get there to pit stop.
Yes, and
do you not know Armageddon?
No.
Okay, so who
I know
is
there's space cowboys. I don't want to miss a thing. Ben Affleck.
Yes.
Oh no, Liv Tyler. You stay on the asteroid. Bye.
He is.
I know of it.
He plays a lot of Russian dudes. I don't even think he's Russian. He's in John Wick Chapter 2. He is. So he's the. One of the bad guys in Bad Boys 2. I'm gonna get his name. So Bad Boys 2, because that's the one that's in my head. Oh my god, there's 4 Bad Boys. That's right. I totally forgot.
There's 4? Wow.
I think there's 4. I'm pretty sure there's 4. Yeah, because the last one was like 2 parts or something, maybe. I definitely forgot Henry Rollins was in this too. Michael Shannon is hilarious in it. Who am I? I'm thinking of Peter Stormare. Peter Stormare. This guy. I don't know if you can see him here. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay. So he plays a Russian cosmonaut in Armageddon, and they all meet him there, and he's just Peter Stormare all over again. He's great. Anyway, that was a little bit of it was just a tangent to run off on. But yeah, he takes the beer, and this is where is this where we get the first time this is the first time we see Corona in anything, right?
No, the last minute there have been Coronas in the background that nobody finished. We talked about them in a previous episode.
But I guess I mean this scene, right?
That it's a character, yes.
Yeah,
this is when Corona becomes the character.
Interesting because I think, and maybe you did mention this last episode, why didn't Red Bull buy into this franchise as much as Corona did?
Don't know. I mean, they're in these scenes, but like they don't get name checked.
They don't get name checked, and they never show up again. Really, I think like not like a big thing, right? But maybe they didn't. Maybe they knew they were going after kids and they didn't want to push that. I don't know. It's still beer. What am I saying? It's America. We push beer before energy drinks, but we also push energy drinks. But whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, he walks up, and I think I got the shot for you. This is your shot.
I don't have a beer this time. Damn it.
Don't have a beer, but we do get a close up of an emoji combo that Daniel has sent me on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
There's a thumbs up.
Looks
in a bottle.
just like it. Yep.
We have this, but yes, he. Do you have the line written down?
I do. You can have any brew you want as long as it's a Corona.
I knew you would.
Episode 33, brought to you by Corona.
Yeah. I mean, we wish. Please hit us up. Who is that? Anheuser-Busch now?
Drain the lizard? I don't know. What's her set slogan?
Drain the lizard? Is that...
That's Obi?
Sobe says something about a lizard. I think Drain the Lizard is something different.
Great. Well, we're not getting Sobe either, so... Sobe, come back. Sponsor the show.
Yeah, are they gone? Do they even exist anymore?
Oh, yeah. I think they're dead.
Okay. And then we get Brian really pissing off Vince here by wiping the lid clean because he says, enjoy that one because that one's Vince. Is he name? I guess he does name check. That's Vince's.
Yeah, I think it's really funny that he is like, I will wipe this off. Now it's clean. It's like the equivalent of just being like the waterfall deal to not spread germs.
It's got to be just for insult, right?
But like, what's the insult even?
That he doesn't want to. I don't know. I mean, the insult is as much as the primate brain that Vince has would take as, oh, you don't want my germs? You think you're better than me kind of thing? The type of thing to piss off a bro?
Sure. Oh, by the way, it was absolutely Drain the Lizard.
That's Corona?
No, that was Sobe.
Sobe. It really is?
Yeah.
That's crazy because
it sounds like
that means you gotta go piss.
Yeah.
It means you're gonna go take a piss. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're supposed to be so hydrated that you just piss it out. Maybe that's what Sobe was going for. I know Sobe was acquired by PepsiCo at some point, or were always PepsiCo. I don't know, but yeah. We get the thing that I was talking about last episode. I think where he does the reel back like cock a punch type thing. Not punch a cock a punch.
Oh, not punch a cock. Right.
He does that weird like I'm pissed motion with his arms. I don't know if you remember. Was this the era where these wrist guard things were popular? Or is he just wearing them? Here, I can.
He might just be wearing them. Oh, those?
Yeah. Like that is you like leather, like Johnny Depp wears them a lot, and I was like, that's his era, really? Huh?
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp.
Oh, okay.
I might have slurred that a little bit. That's my bad. I swear I'm sober as a stone. Is that? I don't even know if that's a
classic
saying.
phrase.
I don't think that's a phrase.
No, you've had a lot of Corona, sir. You need to go drain the lizard and get some water.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to drain the lizard here, please.
Again, a weird sobriety check. You need to go piss.
I need you to go drain the lizard. So it's so that they can entrap you for public urination. That must be what it's for. What do we have next? Oh, and then he's get. Oh, right. I take a screenshot of this scene because he gets up and kind of pushes this girl out of the way.
Yeah, he shows a girl.
She flips him off. It's great.
Yeah, she's right. I mean, she should have like cracked him in the nuts. But right before this, there's something I wanted to point out.
Yes.
There's maybe the only reference to using the bathroom in the series between these moments. And I don't even have it written down who says, yeah.
It's a Hollywood crazy point, really. Because I think, who was it? It was like Dan Van Kirk on Douglas Movies or something like that, mentioning how he enjoys watching movie characters use the restroom because that's what makes the movies real.
Sure.
And that's why he loves Tom Hanks so much because he
loves pissing.
He
Yep.
pees in like every movie. It's crazy.
It's really weird in Toy Story when he pees, though.
I didn't know toys could pee.
It's just Andy going psst, holding his doll.
I mean, I don't think that's abnormal. I think that's what kids do, right? Just to make it
When
real.
When you played with toys, or if you play with toys, I don't know what you do.
I did.
You're making them like walk. Did you ever say walk, 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 or did you just make them walk? I had a cousin that would say walk, 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 and it drove me insane.
I don't think I ever said that. I would probably have made over animated sound effects. I made lots of sound effects when I was a kid. Like stuff like that.
Did you do Foley for these movies? Are you Michael Winslow?
Jesus, no, I'm not even close to Michael Winslow. That man is a legend. But now you got me thinking of Fozzie Bear, Waka Waka Waka.
Waka?
Yeah, or Pac-Man, I guess. But I don't know.
They
did
call
you do
Puck-Man, but in Japan they
God.
can change it.
You know, Katie hates that movie. Did you know that? I know. I had the same reaction.
I'm so disappointed.
I had a very similar reaction. I think she doesn't like the effects that happen in the movie. But I love that movie. I've watched it several times, and I'm like, the stuff they do in this is so over the top, but like effectual. Like it actually does things that it's meaning to do, and it makes it really work within the realm of like, hey, this is a movie and we made it feel like a video game. It's really good, and the music is fantastic.
Mostly written by my boy Beck. Anyway,
yeah, it very much sounds like that too, in a good way. But yeah, no, that's great. So we have Vince doing Vince things, and yeah, he comes up to exactly what you're talking about. Wait, not yet. That's not till like another 10 seconds, something like that. But this is where he walks up to Dom, saying, and yeah, calling the guy out. He's like, "What are you doing, bringing that boy into the house?" Right? Mm-hmm. And then,
oh,
so the question is here. Vince is right? It's like a criminal organization, even a small one at this point. Vince is correct. They don't know who he is. And he is kind of weird, and he kind of acts like a cop. So why does Dom trust him?
Maybe because he saved his ass or something like 30 seconds ago. He's had one-on-one like interactions with him proving his worth right now. Like no one else trusts him, but like, I don't know. Or like I said a couple episodes ago, like he had his boy find fake information essentially online. Maybe he already knows. Maybe like Dom in Fast 8, he's 9 steps ahead.
True.
And Vince doesn't know that.
That so like there is that whole like, we'll call it plot knowledge, right? The character that tends to end up at the end of, or like at the right moment, he just knows the thing that happened that nobody else really knew. And Dom has that a lot throughout this franchise. But there are so many times where he gets blindsided.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of weirdly inconsistent, but it works for the stories. So I guess that works here, but this is one of the only times where he's warned about what's actually happening. Like this is he's told this is what's happening. All the other times he's not really told the truth, right? And he has to figure it out by the hard way. But this time is like, I think one of the only times where Vince is like, he's correct, and he's talking about like, you can't trust him. So like, I don't really, I guess in talking through this, I guess this is on par for like what Dom ends up doing throughout every story. But I do find it interesting that there's a whole defensive attitude from him too, because in this exact screenshot, it's right after Vince says we don't know him, and then he comes back with something pretty illogical, as Vince points out again. There was a point at which I didn't know you.
And that was the 3rd grade.
Yeah, he's like, that was in the 3rd grade. Which is, yeah, I mean, and if you could see on Dom's face that he realizes that. He's like, yeah, I realized that was a stupid thing to say, but I still said it.
Imagine them heisting bikes when they were like 8 years old.
Yeah, you think they did that?
Lil Dom.
A quarter mile on a bike's not very fast, or not very short. That's gotta be tough too. I guess it wouldn't be that short. A quarter mile is 1 lap around on the track. Riding a bike would be pretty quick. It wouldn't be 10 seconds, obviously, but it'd be pretty quick. You know, I just noticed the knife on Letty's hip.
Oh,
you see that?
I do. She's ready for everything. She's
ready
Laura Croft type.
She also has dog tags. I don't know where those are from. If they are real, I don't know if maybe they're her dad's. We know nothing about her actual family.
Stolen valor.
Could be. Who knows? Could be. Could just be the style. Who knows? I know that she takes on this very military type attitude throughout the franchise, and sort of dresses in camos and greens and stuff like that too.
Maybe the family's the army. It's like a Charles Manson type army.
Well, I mean, they are all trained in assault rifles and stuff. In several different movies, they use them very well. So I don't know.
At some point, they went to rifle school.
Yeah, something like that. I did like capturing this screen though, because Vince just looks like he's either really, really high or just about to do the Beavis and Butthead laugh of These screens are hilarious. We've also noticed as we go through these screenshots is Jesse's back and he has not detailed said car.
Oh yeah.
They went to the other room and came right back. I believe.
Or
yeah.
he
So
did.
He's right there doing. I don't know. Is also. I think that's a different girl.
Nice.
In the background here, he's just all over the place. He's playing the field. Either that, or he's one of those drunk guys that we see at every story, just coming up to every girl and just hey, what's up? Yeah.
Speak of girls, there's a line at the end of this minute that I think we're coming towards that I think is really funny.
This is the last screen I have.
Okay, Dom asks what girls are here in front of Letty.
He does?
Yeah, totally does.
What?
They have this awkward exchange about the 3rd grade and whatnot, and it kind of calms down, and then there's maybe an ADR or something goes, so what girls are here?
Really?
And that's the end of the minute. Yeah.
Right after this right here?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't remember. I just watched it. I guess I didn't hear it. That's interesting.
Maybe my unnamed streaming service added that line for me.
Well, what's I mean, it comes back to something we've talked about several times now too. I don't know what their relationship is at this point. Because there's a lot of and especially in the short movie that comes out after this, there's a lot of I'm with any girl I want, even if Letty is there. And it doesn't really matter.
Maybe they got an open thing going on, but
But she's obviously pissed about it.
Well, the next minute she seems immediately over it.
Right. Which
we'll get there.
I don't know what it all means, man. I don't know what it's girl. He's not right for you. I don't know why this happened. He's not right for you. Just you got to go somewhere else, I think.
Dump him, girl. Fake your death, girl.
Dump him. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything left on? Sorry, I was trying to figure out the scene. You have anything left for this minute?
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So then that was minute 33 of the Fast and the Furious. We're still in the party, and we still have another minute or so in this party. So we have to we got to get through, and we got a party. But we do have a very tense minute coming up next. So with that, make sure that you are following us on all of our platforms, all of our media, all of our whatever it might be. That way you know when we release new episodes. You can go to danotage.tv/60secondcar to see all of these links and details. So go check them out there. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you leave a comment and a like. If you're listening on your favorite platform, podcasting platform, leave us a review. Say family, which I will say, I can tell when people are watching the videos and listening to the podcast, because we are getting those comments, and I'm like, all right, cool, it's perfect. So keep doing that. Keep doing whatever you got. Anyway, as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Family.